Welcome back to Willard Library's virtual Crafternoon. Today we're going to learn how to make a fun watermelon stamp tea towel with only a few simple supplies. Craft kits for this project are available at the Adult Services desk at Willard Library at no cost while supplies last. Included in the kit is one cotton dish towel that measures 28 by 28 inches, 3 small containers of fabric-friendly paint in the colors red, green, and black, a rectangular kitchen sponge. The one I'm using here measures 4 3/4 by 2 3/4 inches, a couple of Q-tips. We'll be using these to paint on our watermelon seeds, and 2 paper plates. A couple of items that are not included in the kit but are still very important: 1 pair of scissors, paper towels, and some newspaper. Let's get started. The first thing you're going to want to do is cut your sponge into shape. You're going to want to make an arch cut from around the middle of the sponge to one of the corners. Don't worry about making an exact arch shape. The beauty of sponge painting is that it doesn't need to be perfect. Now that my sponge is cut into the shape of a watermelon slice, I'm going to cut about 1 inch off of the edge to make the rind. You should end up with 2 sponge shapes that look something like these. Next, lay out your towel flat and fold it in half. I took a hot iron to my towel just to flatten out the edges. You don't need to do that if you don't want to. This fabric does lend itself to being slightly wrinkled. Now take that newspaper and lay it on the inside of the fold. This is going to keep paint from bleeding through the fabric. Lay out your 2 paper plates. On one of them, carefully spill some of your red paint, and on the other, your green paint. Start by taking your triangular shaped sponge and dip it into the red paint. You'll want to swirl it around a bit on your paper plate like this. Make sure that that paint gets all over the bottom of your sponge. Once your sponge is loaded with paint, decide where you want to place it on your tea towel and gently press it down. When you're placing your shapes, do keep in mind that you want to leave a little bit of room for the rind of the watermelon as well. I found that it was easiest to gently lift the sponge from one side to the other, kind of like you're peeling it off of the towel. As far as placement goes for this project, the design is completely up to you. Next, I'm going to add the rind to my watermelon shapes. Repeat the same process. Gently dip your sponge in the paint. Make sure that the paint covers the entirety of the sponge, then place it gently onto your tea towel. You'll notice that I'm leaving a little bit of white space between the red and green on my towel. This is just a personal preference. I like the way it looks. You don't necessarily need to do it the same way. Now for the finishing touch, we're going to add seeds to our watermelon slices. Dip a Q-tip into your black paint, then paint on a few seeds wherever you would like. Once you're happy with your watermelon design, give your towel a few hours to dry completely and it's ready for display.